Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. Talking to a friend today. He said he was doing a deal and he said to me, a Rolex Explorer 2 Polar 42 mil is a nothing watch. A nothing watch. That's what he said to me. He said the 42 mil Polar Explorer 2 is a nothing watch. Now, I gotta tell you, it's a very interesting concept. The guy has a super collection. Over 50 pieces. $1 million collection. Over $1 million. And he says to me, he's doing a deal to get a Lange. A certain Lange. It was a Lange 1815 chronograph, 1815 chronograph. And he said to me, he's doing a deal, and he says, I'm going to be, a couple pieces have sold with a few dealers. And he said, I'm going to give them an Explorer 2, Polar 42 mil. He said, it's really a nothing watch. A nothing watch. And I got to be totally honest with you. I think he's completely wrong. Completely wrong. Yes, if we are comparing a Lange 1815 chronograph to a Explorer 2, very different pieces. Is the Rolex a nothing watch? Now, obviously, we're comparing a GMT function to a chronograph, but let's just talk about this on the same sort of scale there. The GMT Master 2 is, in my opinion, it's a fantastic Rolex watch. It's a fantastic one and done. Believe you me, I haven't always had 10-piece combo meal hunger buster. No. I've been there when I lusted after a Rolex. And I gotta tell you, it's an interesting conversation I had with him. He says to me, it's a nothing watch. He doesn't mind getting rid of it. And yeah, if you compare the horology, comparing this to, say, a Patek or a Lange, the Lange horology, precious metal, it's the top of the game. However, if I was stuck on a desert island, I got to be honest with you, the Lange wouldn't be my choice. I'd much rather have an Explorer 2. And why do I say that? And the reason I say that is because it's horses for courses. Yes, if you are comparing the two, a Rolls Royce is better than a E-Class Mercedes. Yes, I agree. However, try daily driving the Rolls Royce. It's too big for most car parks. It's very thirsty on the gas. Tires and repairs are expensive. It's a very fun car to have as your special occasion car, but for getting shite done, an E-Class Mercedes, hey, they use them as taxis in Germany and in many countries like Singapore, Indonesia, high-class taxis, because they are reliable, they're bulletproof. And that's kind of where it sits in. So I think my friend, and I got to tell you, the penny dropped. Don't be angry at my friend for saying that about the Rolex Explorer. I went through the same motions. Remember, I sold up all my Rolex to buy Patek. How well did that work out for you, Archie? And I got to be honest with you. I think Patek Philippe or Lange, They are sensational. That's the top end. That's the epitome of a beautiful watch. However, for getting stuff done in life, for going through the daily grind, I think the Explorer 2 would be a fantastic watch, especially with that white dial, because it really makes it a lot more dressy. You can dress it up, dress it down. You've got the Submariner, that's a classic in black, but the white dial, how many sports watches do you know have white dials? So it makes it much more dressy. I got to tell you honestly, when you look at the movements, you take the backs off them. Of course, the Patek or the Lange horology, beveled swirls, little polished edges. This is just a unfinished steel movement. It's very utilitarian. Now, utilitarian can be very good as a workhorse. It's fantastic as a workhorse. Whereas as a display watch, of course, the Lange and Patek are going to be streets above this. Now, the thing is, they're two totally different pieces. And I got to tell you, if he was in, this particular collector was in a hurry to get rid of the Lange, guess what? Guess what? I think your Rolex, you'd always, they will sell, Rolex sells so quickly. It is, then the reason it sells so quickly, I think it's the core fundamentals. Waterproof, automatic. Those two key elements, waterproof, automatic. That's what makes Rolex great. No other brand keyed into that concept. Waterproof and automatic. And that's really why so many Rolexes have survived. Now, obviously, if you've got a Rolex, there's still seals here. So I've seen Rolexes, even sea dwellers, have been damaged because the seal broke or they never serviced them. And, you know, don't kid yourself, it still needs service and attention. But it's got a higher chance of surviving. If you've got such good waterproofing, you've got such a higher chance of surviving. So to be honest with you, I gotta tell you this. He's right. Yes, the Explorer 2 is a nothing watch compared to a Patek or a Lange or an FP Journe. But if you were stuck on a desert island, I'd want the Rolex. If you had to have a watch as an everyday one and done, I'd want the Rolex. And if you needed to cash out quickly, Rolex. Rolex Steel Sports. So I understand where he's coming from. And that's partly why I got 5 dress watches. But I don't want 10 dress watches. I want to have half my collection as dress. When I say dress, it means it's on a leather strap, predominantly precious metal. I've got 4 precious metal, 1 steel, and they've got leather straps. And I've got 5 steel stunners on steel bracelets. And that's the whole thing. I don't think you should lose sight of the fact that these watches are very, very just perfect for every day. See, what is the best is not necessarily the best for every day. It's like saying, what's the best car in the world? You could say, well, I want a Lamborghini. Well, daily drive one. They don't like it. You're going to find the clutch burns out, especially with that F1 transmission. You're going to find that it drinks a lot of gas. You're going to find that it bottoms out when you go over speed bumps and park in a shopping center. It's a disaster. And that's the whole thing. Rolex itself, what it does brilliantly. It's simple and to the point. So I don't think I would ever say it's a nothing watch. It's the greatest watch for everyday life. It is the greatest watch for everyday life. It's the greatest watch for getting things done. I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next one. And guys, I can't make money out of Google Ads. Look in the description for a couple ways you can help me. Sponsor me on Patreon. Get a paid review. Come on, guys. Help me now. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.